Dr. Mpume Zenda is a well-respected and leading Ob-Gynae-Sexologist who has written a motivating and affirming book on puberty and adolescence in girls. She's the founder of We See You, a consultancy service that provides awareness of sexual reproductive health. Dr. Zenda joins me now to talk about her book, Mommy, My Body's Changing, a Girl in Bloom's trusty handbook for growing up. Welcome to you, Dr. Zenda, and thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I suppose these are the words that most parents and moms would dread when your teenager or your adolescent child says, Mommy, my body's changing. What do you do then? What's the kind of advice or talk that one should initiate at that stage?
I think first and foremost, give yourself a break and understand that you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have all the information. One thing you already have for your child is the immense love and just their best interest. So I always encourage parents to create safe spaces. Talk to your children, engage them, be interested in what you do, because when you do that on an often or on a regular basis, you actually already are setting the tone that you can actually have difficult conversation. It's impossible to have easy conversations if you have not if you have difficult conversations if you haven't started with the easy ones first. So be interested in your child, get involved so that they always know that you are their first point of reference and trusted source.
But we draw from our own parenting experience, you know, in the sense that our parents would often have a monologue and not a dialogue with their children. Children were seen and not heard, and you were told, or rather you were just literally just told to follow their instructions. So how do you then break that particular mold, you know, of your own upbringing, and how do you then apply a different way of parenting that provides that safe space?
You know, I was actually motivated from that very perspective, having had difficult conversations with my own mother, and realizing the gap in the sense that as a mom of a 13-year-old teen girl now, things had to be different so that she didn't have to experience some of those, uncomfortable awkwardness about her body. And so the book in itself is written as a generational book that allows not only the child but also the parents to learn. And so it is first and foremost the awareness of knowing that you don't know everything, and that's okay. You may have gone through your own things with your parents that you probably need to heal from, and I hope this book also assists in that. But it's also to say we are changing the narrative. We want coming of age to be celebratory, to not be something that is a hush-hush, to be something that girls look forward to enjoying, to have gestures with their parents, with their guardians, with older sisters, brothers, when it comes to their bodies, so that they can grow up with a sense of confidence and an esteem that we may never have had an opportunity to grab onto at a young age.
Yeah, and how difficult was it to incorporate the various demographics? We are a diverse nation, and also taking the cultural nuances. You know, things like once you start having your menstruation, we were told you must stay away from boys, and no particular explanation was given. So how did you incorporate that into the book?
So the way that the book is actually written is that it addresses both the parent and the child. So with every chapter that is addressed, and I think I have the fair or unfair advantage of being a citizen of South Africa, our diverse country. I come from a typically traditional family, so I understand what it's like, especially for us as Africans, to have those conversations is difficult. And so it actually was a little bit easy for me to put myself in that, because the story is not, or the conversations are not just about myself and my daughter or my mother. They belong to all of us. And so there is definitely inserts in the book that address both the child and the parent, and that also that then allows for the conversation starters and just for a place to say, okay, where do we start? How do we talk about things like non-binary? How do we talk about things like consent? How do we talk about beauty? How do we talk about, does my child get involved in social media or not? We have gone into not just focusing on the physical changes that happen in girls, but also internally, psychologically, self-esteem. What does it look like to choose friends? What does a sisterhood look like? What does legacy look like? When we give them these nuggets at an early age and just open their world into who they are becoming, I think we would be doing a really great job. And we've really tried to incorporate all those elements into the book.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zenda. That is Dr. Mpume Zenda. She is the author of Mommy, My Body's Changing, a Girl in Bloom's trusty handbook for growing up. The book was launched just this past Thursday and fresh from the press and is available at all good bookstores.